Now at 6 on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45, the trial of a former UNC athlete accused of second-degree murder is over. You will hear that verdict. Also, the state NAACP is taking aim at new building rules at the General Assembly that affect how people can protest. Find out why they're fighting these rules. And the World Cup is underway in Brazil. Hear how this tournament is bringing people together across the state. And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming right up. First at 6, Doug is here with the first check of your forecast. And I was trying to think of how to describe the weather, and I came up with unsettled. You know, it's dry one minute, then stormy the next, Doug.
That's one of my favorite terms, unsettled for sure. Weekend. All the details coming up in just a bit.
All right, see you then. Thank you, Doug. There is a verdict in what's been called an unusual murder case. Keenan Gay is a free man, acquitted on all charges of killing Rob Kingston in 2012. A jury returned a unanimous decision a little before noon today. While it wasn't the decision the Kingston family wanted, prosecutors say they are now trying to move on. Kate Geyer is at the courthouse with reaction from both sides. The legal issues are far from over for Keenan Gay. This March, the family of Robert Kingston filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Gay and the owners of Ed's Tavern. The suit says the bartenders and bouncers didn't do their jobs that night and therefore contributed to the deadly result. Legal experts say the Kingston family may get a different result in civil court because the burden of proof is lower than beyond a reasonable doubt.
It doesn't have to be a unanimous verdict all the time. You can get a compromise verdict. Usually these things settle, you know, for some amount of money before going to trial because insurance companies are scared of getting hit with a big verdict because of a wrongful death case.
Well, the suit requests a jury trial. It charges negligence against Gay and Ed's Tavern, as well as gross negligence against Gay. Kingston family did not comment after today's not guilty verdict. We have new information tonight in the case of a missing North Carolina teacher. Guilford County Schools say Bianca Tanner was still working for the district when she disappeared last weekend. Tanner recently moved to the Charlotte area where she went missing Saturday. District officials say she was still teaching second grade at Reedy Fork Elementary in Greensboro. Police are treating Tanner's disappearance as a homicide. They have not named any suspects. Detectives say they think some of the people they have interviewed are not being honest with them. A federal judge heard arguments today on motions for summary judgments in a U.S. Department of Justice lawsuit against Alamance County Sheriff Terry Johnson. The lawsuit alleges Johnson and his department discriminated against Latinos, making traffic stops based on ethnicity. U.S. District Judge Thomas Schroeder found it curious that both sides hadn't resolved the suit, which drew reaction from Johnson's attorney.
I was a little surprised by the fact he is surprised we have not settled, and that Sheriff Johnson has stated time and time again he will fix anything that's wrong. But the United States has to show him what's wrong. If his officers are doing something wrong, he will take care of it.
A ruling in favor of either side would avoid a trial. Schroeder hopes to rule on the motions as early as late next week. If he declines both motions, trial could get underway in early August. A Superior Court judge rules in favor of the NAACP, saying that some of the rules lawmakers adopted regarding demonstrations in the legislative building are too broad to be enforced. The judge issued a restraining order against them. Andy Madison was in the courtroom where both sides pleaded their cases today. Andy, what can you tell us about this case?
What I can tell you is that
a group of parents stood outside the General Assembly today demanding fathers get equal rights in custody cases. This is all part of the Fatherless Day rally taking place in Raleigh and dozens of other state capitals nationwide. They are drawing attention to what they say is a disparity between how men and women are treated in family court systems. The goal is to ensure both parents have equal time with their children in all cases where there are two fit parents.
this is your parent that you've seen every day for your, every day of your life, and then all of a sudden, you only get to see them every other weekend. It's hard for the kids. It's hard for the parents. It's a huge problem in our state, and not just in our state. It's in the country.
The group is also hoping laws that require equal rights in custody cases will cut back on the time and money spent when fighting a legal battle in court. Ahead here at 6 o'clock, the heat is on across North Carolina. Hear how fans at the U.S. Open are keeping cool. And later.
I'm meteorologist Doug Lindsay, out ahead of a
ABC 45.
It was another day of near 90-degree heat at the U.S. Open. Medical staff on site are seeing a surge in heat-related illness. Chad Mira has more on how the tournament is keeping spectators safe in extreme temperatures. Well, many fans at tournaments like the U.S. Open want to walk along with their favorite player. Pinehurst is a 7,500-yard course. If fans walk the whole thing, they could walk close to 4.5 miles. The medical staff says on warmer days like this, fans could be overdoing it. And hundreds of thousands of fans have shown up for that U.S. Open Championship in Pinehurst, and the transportation to get spectators to the course is running smoothly. There are 2 complimentary parking lots where fans can catch a shuttle every 15 minutes to the main entrance gate.
We did red yesterday. We came in from Raleigh, and red's a little further away. Blue is closer, and but really very good logistics. They've done a nice job, and can't complain at all.
The 2 lots are the red and blue lot. The red is located north, the blue south of Pinehurst. You can find the maps to these locations as well as all the details you need to know before traveling to the Open on our website, twcnews.com. Just click on story links. Well, soccer fans across the world are coming together for the World Cup. The tournament is uniting fans behind their teams. The U.S. men's team doesn't play until Monday, but fans already are crowding the bars across North Carolina. A UNC Charlotte history professor says the international appeal of this tournament brings Americans from all ethnic backgrounds together.
So I think it's an opportunity for the people in the United States to celebrate their ethnic heritage. Particularly with the Italians playing, usually the Irish play, that's also a big deal. So it's almost, I think, transformed into the Americans taking a rooting interest in some of the other countries.
The last time the United States hosted the Men's World Cup was in 1994. This year's final will be July 13th in Rio de Janeiro. You can watch that game along with others right here on ABC 45. And your sports is up next here at 6 o'clock. The NBA draft is just 2 weeks away. Mike tells us how the Hornets are getting ready. And you may see increased gas prices soon. Hear why in our Carolina Minute.
It's at 6.
Well, after a rough day yesterday, stocks were up today. We'll have that update with our crew from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And right after this quick break, we may not be done with the storms yet. Meteorologist Doug Lindsay has your full weather on the ones.
In the week. That's your weather on the ones forecast. Back to you, Sharon.
That's good. Thank you, Doug. Now from our crews across the state, here is tonight's Carolina Minute. The State House passed a final version of its budget proposal. Its spending plan is more in line with Governor McCrory's than the Senate proposal. On that hot-button issue of teacher pay, the House wants to tie raises to lottery profits. The House and Senate will now get together to work out one budget from the 2 proposals. Raleigh police are investigating a break-in at the Raleigh Geeks location on Glenwood Avenue today. The computer repair company is under a temporary restraining order after accusations of faulty work. Representatives from the Attorney General's office say they believe whoever tried to break in was posing as someone from their office. The crisis in Iraq isn't only affecting the military, but may also affect your wallet. Analysts in the oil industry worry an Islamic militant group will take over the oil fields and possibly shut them down. AAA Carolina's PR manager Tom Crosby says the situation scares him. Iraq is the world's 3rd largest oil producer. These stories and more available anytime on Time Warner Cable News. Well, let's get the latest on the economy now from our team on Wall Street. New life for an old R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company facility. Wake Forest Innovation Quarters celebrated the official opening of 525 at Vine today. The building went up in 1926, one of R.J. Reynolds' many properties downtown. Officials say it took more than 1,000 workers and $75 million to renovate the factory into a mixed-use lab and office building. They say it's already 74% leased. Wexford Science and Technology revamped the former tobacco factory into a research facility. It was a happy day for thousands of students in the Triad as the school year came to a close. At one elementary school, they ended the day like they have Fridays since March, with that happy song.
We want the children to be happy, so we thought, what other way than on a Friday to make it a happy occasion as they leave.
Well, the weekend will be filled with high school graduations as well. That's our time here at 6. ABC World News with Diane Sawyer is next.